When it comes to celebrities, most people assume because they're actors, musicians, or socialites that they aren't very bright. Obviously, people like that need to take a class in breaking down stereotypes, because these 10 celebs are probably smarter than all of us. Number 10, James Franco. Like us, when you think of James Franco, you think of Seth Rogen and a string of stoner movies. While those thoughts aren't unwarranted, he has done a lot of dumb, funny movies, but he's actually kind of a genius. In high school, he played a class-cutting freak, but young Franco was a math whiz who interned at Lockheed Martin. The actor has since made a hobby of picking up college degrees. After graduating from UCLA, he moved to New York and enrolled at NYU for filmmaking, Columbia University and Brooklyn College for fiction writing, and Warren Wilson College in North Carolina for a little residency poetry program. He's currently a comparative literature PhD candidate at Yale. He's also taught screenplay writing and directing at UCLA, UNS, NYU, and Columbia. It's been reported that his IQ is 130. Number 9, Rashida Jones. Rashida Jones is the daughter of Quincy Jones and Peggy Lipton. Although most people know her best as Ann Perkins from Parks and Rec. Although a sitcom star, you may not know that Rashida Jones is actually one of the brainiest celebrities in Tinseltown. With notable roles in Parks and Recreation, The Office, and The Social Network to name a few, Jones has more than her fair share of enviable accomplishments. She also has a considerable head on her shoulders as well. Yet another Harvard alum, Jones successfully graduated with a Bachelor of Arts in Comparative Religion in 1997. She actually had plans to become a lawyer, but the O.J. Simpson trial allegedly jaded her aspirations. Instead, 1997 saw her take her first step into the limelight with a role in the Mario Puzo miniseries, The Last Dawn, before catching her major break on Boston Public, and things have only been on the up and up ever since. Number 8, Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman has an acting career that spans multiple decades and genres. From starring in the mega blockbuster Star Wars series to winning an Oscar for the spellbinding performance in Black Swan, Natalie Portman has a truly impressive acting career. But had acting not worked out for Natalie, she would surely have found equal success in another field. The Black Swan lead has a bachelor's degree from Harvard, making her the first alum to win an Academy Award, and took graduate courses at Hebrew University in Jerusalem. She enrolled at Harvard as Natalie Hirschlag, her birth name for a bit of anonymity, but her professors noted that she was an exceptional student. She speaks 6 languages and has twice been published in scientific journals. At Harvard, she contributed to a paper entitled Frontal Lobe Activation During Object Performance, Data from Near-Infrared Spectroscopy, which is kind of hard to say, let alone write. Portman once famously said she'd rather be smart than a movie star. As it turns out, she's doing a seriously good job at being both. Number 7, Dolph Lundgren. If you've watched any of Dolph Lundgren's famous films, you've probably assumed that he was a bit of a meathead. From starring in the Masters of the Universe to Rocky IV, there's nothing about Dolph that screams genius. That is aside from his master's in chemical engineering from the University of Sydney. In the early 80s, Lundgren was busy studying hard in Sydney, Australia. While there, he also worked on his martial arts and fitness. He even earned a European Championship title in Kyokushin Karate while he studied for his master's. Although he earned a prestigious Fulbright scholarship to attend MIT, Lundgren met the singer Grace Jones and became her boyfriend and bodyguard. At her urging, he went on to a few acting auditions, and the rest is history. Number 6, Shakira. Hailed as the queen of Latin music, the Colombian singer achieved international fame with hit songs like Whenever, Wherever, and Underneath Your Clothes. While we all know that Shakira is a lyrical genius, she's an all-around genius as well. A member of the Mensa International, Shakira possesses an IQ of 140. To give you an idea, the average IQ is somewhere around 100. This shouldn't come as a surprise, as Shakira is fluent in multiple languages, including Spanish, English, Portuguese, Italian, and Arabic. Not every 7-year-old would want a typewriter for Christmas. Young Shakira, however, was intrigued watching her father use his typewriter, which was gifted to her. She used it to write poems, which led to songwriting, which led to fame. Number 5, Quentin Tarantino. Don't get any ideas, but Tarantino dropped out of high school and landed a job at a porn theater. This behavior may not be most typical of a genius, but he's indisputably just that. Yes, a slew of films that are considered masterpieces may indicate his prowess, but the Pulp Fiction director had set himself apart from the rest of the world. Long before that, with a nearly unheard of IQ of 160. For reference, this puts him squarely in the 99.996 percentile, right next to legendary theatrical physicist Stephen Hawking. Truly a poster child of structured education shortcomings, Tarantino was destined to shake things up from the very beginning. Number 4, Greg Graffin. Greg Graffin is the lead singer in the famous SoCal punk rock band Bad Religion. The band achieved success in the 90s and remains one of the best-selling punk rock acts of all time, having sold over 5 million albums worldwide. You'd think being the lead singer of a successful band would be enough, but Greg Graffin is also a respected scientist and professor. Graffin obtained his bachelor's and master's from UCLA before he went on to earn his PhD in zoology at Cornell University. Eventually, Graffin would return to UCLA, where he taught natural science. He has also returned to teach at Cornell. Graffin has made such an impact to the world of evolutionary biology that in 2011, a new type of species of extinct bird from the Lower Cretaceous era was named after Graffin. For his contributions to evolutionary biology, his public outreach through music, and his inspiration to young scientists around the world, Graffin also received the Rushdie Award for Cultural Humanism from the Harvard Humanist Chaplaincy in 2008. Number 3, Matt Damon. Does life imitate art or does art imitate life? A young Matt Damon may suggest the latter, as his breakout work in Good Will Hunting told the story of an incredibly talented young man, forced to face his past and live up to his potential at MIT. Damon actually began working on the award-winning screenplay during a playwriting class he was taking at, you guessed it, Harvard University. This, of course, skyrocketed him to fame, and his light has hardly dimmed since then. But cut short his studies, technically making Damon just short of being a college grad. Take a look past the charisma and good looks and you'll find a well-spoken, very bright man as well. Number 2, Dexter Holland. You probably know Dexter Holland as the frontman for the 90s punk rock band The Offspring. With hit songs like Pretty Fly for a White Guy and Self-Esteem, The Offspring were one of the biggest bands of the 90s. Holland once said that studying math was just as exciting as punk rock. Indeed, Holland graduated from high school as valedictorian and intended to get a BS in biology. Then in 1994, The Offspring released their album Smash, and exploded out of Southern California to become one of the biggest bands in the United States. Despite this, Dexter Holland continued to study for his master's degree in molecular biology at USC. The continuing success of the band meant Holland had to suspend his PhD, but 20 years later, Holland became a doctoral student at the Laboratory of Viral Oncology and Proteomics Research at the Keck School of Medicine. While earning his PhD in molecular biology, Dexter Holland co-wrote a paper named The Identification of Human MicroRNA-like Sequences, embedded within the protein encoding genes of the human immunodeficiency virus. Number 1, Mayim Bialik. Mayim Bialik doesn't just play a nerdy genius on the hit show The Big Bang Theory. She's actually a neuroscientist in real life. Bialik started acting when she was a child with roles in the horror film Pumpkinhead, NBC's Blossom, and Beauty and the Beast. She took a hiatus from on-screen acting to pursue her studies at UCLA, where she triple majored in Hebrew, Jewish studies, and neuroscience. She then went on to complete her PhD, all the while doing voiceover work for cartoon shows like Johnny Bravo and Hey Arnold. Fun facts: her dissertation is titled Hypothalamic Regulation in Relation to Maladaptive, Obsessive-Compulsive, Affiliative, and Satiety Behaviors in Prader-Willi Syndrome. Oh, and she's also an author. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed.